There you go, so that is a brand new trumpeter 1 to 200 scale Battleship Yamato.
Hey there guys, you're watching Hearns TV. I'm Dan.
And I'm BJ.
And we're going to show you a model that's going to blow your mind because it's so cool.
We thought we'd better have two people involved with this because it's a pretty special kit that we've got here. Why don't we pick it up and we'll show everyone?
Yes, I think so.
What have we got here? Look at this.
We have
This is
the IJN Yamato, the one of the largest, heaviest battleships ever created.
pretty huge, isn't it?
Yeah, the lead of her class with her sister ship Musashi. Yeah.
So with the Yamato, you probably noticed that you've got those big characters here. So Yamato actually is the name of the original peoples from Japan. So it's very nationalistic, it's a very high pride name in this particular battleship.
Yes, the ancient Yamato province, I think.
Yeah, that's it. And so hence, we've got one of the biggest battleships that were ever developed during World War II. So of course this and the sister ship Musashi terrorized Pacific pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, they didn't really operate anywhere else. There was actually a third one planned, but in 1940 the ship was actually altered into an aircraft carrier called the Shinano. Yeah, so
impressive. Okay,
yeah.
how about we get into it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll see what it's all about. All right, let's just pop it down. We'll carefully take off the top. I mean, this is one of the biggest boxes we've come across. Okay, so how big was the overall length of this model? What was it? It's like
just under 1.4 meters was the length of this kit.
Right.
Yeah. You're gonna need a fair bit of space.
There's a bit of stuff here. So we've got this big manual. It is massive. You can see how thick it is. Okay, heaps of pages there. So we'll look at that at the end after we've gone through all the plastic. We've got a painting chart as well. So we'll put this aside. We've got the decals. We'll leave that over. We'll probably leave that over here, right? How about we'll pop over the most obvious bit?
Yeah.
So look at this massive thing.
Hole.
Wow, look at that. Okay, let's pick this up. Oh, look at that. That is huge.
And all the reinforcements already installed on the inside.
Let's see if I can pull this off. Yeah, it's interesting to see the reinforcements in there.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll put that off. Alright, so we've got pressed aluminium, I think.
Yeah.
So we've got pressed aluminium and also plastic supports on the inside of the hull, so from getting crushed in. I mean, quite a few other big ships have got that as well, but you normally have to glue them in separately.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's interesting that it's already all fitted. Really beefy. Yeah, but we'll just have a quick look on the overhead camera. We'll have a look at some of this. Where is it? Some of the detail along the sides here. What do you call this bit again? On the side of a ship.
I don't know.
Those little veiny things. Because we're not really ship experts, are we? We appreciate them, but we don't really know what all the bits are.
It looks like it's for stability, and for when it's going close to its maximum speed, which was 25 knots, I think. It was just over 50 kilometers an hour was the maximum speed of the Yamato.
That's a pretty fair speed for something that's massive too.
Yeah,
see all the detail.
253 meters long.
Wow. See all the sort of planking detail on the base as well. Quite often you'll see this is all left off. We've got the bow just there, and then we get into the stern section. We've got these areas here, so you've got your rudder's going to be here, you get your 4 prop shafts, obviously the props are going to be there as well, you've got the support areas there. It's just absolutely massive, isn't it?
Very impressive already.
I mean, from memory, I mean, it's been a while since I saw the Enterprise, but I mean, that's got to be the same width or probably wider.
Probably, yeah.
For a battleship, it's absolutely massive. Okay, let's just pop it back in there for a sec. And we'll start looking at all the other smaller bits.
Yeah. The reason for the immense size of the Yamato was the Japanese were fully aware that the United States Navy had significantly more battleships than theirs, and they knew that when it came to a conflict with the United States, that their industrial power meant that they would be able to churn out a lot of heavy warships much faster than they could.
Yep.
So they needed to have a small amount of super-sized, very heavy warships that were able to fight multiple battleships at extreme distances outside the range of their opponent's guns, and that was the purpose of the Yamato and the Musashi.
It's pretty freaky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into box A. Okay, so we've got box A here. So we actually got, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 other little boxes full of bits. So let's start off with A. Crack it open and let's see what we've got inside. I always have trouble with these boxes because they are pretty tight. But it's a lot handier with you here, Dan, because I can help getting this open. Alright, let's have a look. Well, there's a whole bunch of bits in here. Okay, so we've got a couple of bags of these turrets.
Yes,
so this one. Let's open up this one here.
Yeah, all the anti-aircraft gun emplacements. Yeah.
Okay, so there's 4 sprue in each of these 2 bags. What are they? They're the 3. They're the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
The big one there. Let's look at the zoomage.
These look like the dual mounts for the heavier anti-aircraft guns with the targeting systems off to the side.
Oh, okay.
And these look like either the triple or the quad mounts. Probably the quad mounts.
Probably quads, yeah?
Yeah.
2 on each side of those. Nice, so that means if we've got 8 sprues, so we've got, so there's 8 of these bigger ones, and then 24 of the other one. That's a lot of anti-aircraft, isn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously it wasn't enough.
No, it wasn't enough. Yeah. In 1944, I think it was, the Yamato took a torpedo hit, and during the repairs they up-armed her. They gave her extra anti-aircraft guns, about an extra 150, I think it was.
Extra 150?
Yeah.
What have we got here? There's some fuckiness going on here.
Yeah, these are the smaller anti-aircraft.
Oh, they're the smaller ones.
And I think these are the emplacements where they would actually, where they were actually fitted to here and here. And I don't know if you can see it under there, but they're the actual cannons.
Let's try and get some of this foam off of here, so have a closer look. Oh, yeah, there you go.
There they are.
So hence why they're covered up in the foam. Let's see if I can get the focus better. There we go. Oh, it's interesting that these are already moulded in. Now I don't know if they're actually bent, but are they bent? Some of them are bent.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's easy enough to fix. But it does make it a bit easier, doesn't it, if you got all your barrels all in place?
Yeah, they're already lined up and you don't have to worry about the matching.
Okay, so you got another turret there. So that's another quad, we reckon?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, so they're the emplacements, I think, over here as well. So they're sort of armoured, are they? Is that what the curving is for?
I'd say so. Yeah.
And then you've got these individual guns here as well. Single cannons. Yeah?
Yeah.
On pedestals.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, let's pop that away. Better put it back in the bag, otherwise I'm going to lose these, I reckon. There's so many bits. Alright.
You're going to want a fair bit of glue when putting this together, I reckon.
I reckon 2 bottles, 3 bottles, 4 bottles?
I'd go with 3 at least. But 3 to be on the safe side anyway.
What I got here, this looks similar to the other one, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's exactly the same. Okay, so you've got another bag of sprue here. These look exactly the same as what we saw before, so we've got some more quad anti-aircraft turrets. So there's quite a number of these too, isn't there? So there must be 5 sprue altogether here. So that's exactly the same as we saw a bit earlier. So let's see them there. Okay, let's pop them back. We've already seen them. So we start getting into some chunky stuff. Alright, so what have we got here? This big messy thing.
The superstructure, yeah. And the superstructure, I don't know if you could see along here, but this is where the funnel would come out. the exhaust from the engine, and this is the forward part of the superstructure. The conning tower would be attached to the front here, and then these grooves cut out there would be the emplacements for the heavy anti-aircraft guns.
And probably see from here too. We've got see if we can get from the top camera. So there's the cutouts for the emplacements. You see those curves there. Big massive cutout for the funnel. The mesh here actually looks pretty clean too.
Yeah.
What would that be? That would be more exhaust or something, I'm guessing.
It's ventilation for the engine room, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some Yamato experts out there.
Yes,
you can always leave comments there.
Yes, you can please leave a comment below. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Pretty chunky bit. So that's the biggest bit we've seen so far, apart from the hull. Alright, now we get into some larger sprues like this. That's a rudder. That's down here. Okay, so it's 2-piece rudder. Pretty beefy, isn't it?
Yeah. Here, this is where the I think this is where
the prop shaft supports
would attach to.
Yeah.
And then the supports going onto the underside of the hull.
Yep.
Yeah, as you can see, very big model, very big ship. Just under 72,000 tons.
Wow. Yeah. So there you can see the rudder from the top camera there. We'll just carefully go through this sprue section here. I mean, a lot of this stuff we don't really recognise. They look like pedestals, don't they, these ones?
Yeah.
As we get closer across here, I mean, we've got the prop shaft supports here. There's 4 of them. And some chunky bits, so we'll probably see in the manual. Alright, let's move along. Alright, so we've got some more big sprues. There's quite a few big sprues in this particular box. Alright, so those big chunky bits here. Hugely chunky. I don't really recognise any of this stuff.
Yeah, these are all parts that would go along, parts for the superstructure that would have like the radar arrays and radio antennas. More emplacements for the anti-aircraft guns. Yeah, and all parts of the superstructure.
Yep. Right, let's have a closer look from the top camera again. So do a little bit of a pan across there and see what these are like. That's nice. Okay. Now it doesn't end there. I mean, this is the first box out of a lot.
We've still got 3 more to go. Yeah.
Alright, so we've got another big one here. Alright, you can see some structures which are, parts of the funnel.
Yeah.
Got some more emplacements here for some more guns. Oh no, it's got me.
These look like, to me anyway, they look like the sighting systems that were sticking out, those little bulges at the sides of the turret.
Okay. Yep.
Had the
for range finding.
Yeah, for range finding. They look like they'd be on the secondary turrets, so the smaller ones,
right,
which I think were taken off a Mogami class cruiser. Actually, 10 to 10-inch guns, either 8 or 10, somewhere around there.
So you got the number emplacement there. That's probably, what's that, going around the funnel or something like that, around the superstructure?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. That would be visual. Well, they'd be up there for visual.
And then you've
got with binoculars. Yeah.
You got the barbecue that goes on top of the funnel. Why did they have it like that?
I don't know. I think it would preventing pieces of flaming enemy aircraft from falling down the funnel.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they used that for like cooking up all the albatrosses or something.
Maybe, just maybe. It's always good to have a secondary use for something.
Alright, we've got some stuff in bubble wrap, meaning it's going to be quite fine and delicate. Okay, so we've got really thin stuff here, which looks like parts of antennae.
Yeah.
So from the top there. See how fine some of this stuff. There's the biggest part there. So they put a whole lot of thin stuff on this particular sprue there. Okay. Put that back. Alright, now we've got this big bag. More delicate things. So it looks like there's a duplicate of 2. Sprue on this one. It looks like davits and things for the boats, doesn't it?
Yeah, and there's the
props.
The props for the for driving the boat. And
anchors look awfully tiny for such a big boat, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. And parts of the crane.
Oh, okay.
At the rear of the ship.
So the crane for the aircraft.
Yeah. The Yamato actually carried its own aircraft, and they had catapults that would rocket them off into the sky, and then they would land with just next to it with seaplane floats, and a crane would pick it back up again.
Well, there's those big, massive screws, props.
Mm.
There's a big, massive round thing. Is that a base for a big gun?
I'd say so.
As part of the catapult, or the crane. Got more davits and stuff. So where are the anchors again? So there's a big anchor there. Where have I missed it? There it is. Anchor there. And I thought I saw a small anchor around here somewhere too. There. Okay, so they're identical. Let's pop those back. You're going to need a really big workspace for this. So cut all this stuff out, and you have your hull sitting there. Alright, so we've got some more chunky stuff here. There's a lot more gun emplacements, don't they?
Yeah, and more pieces of the conning tower.
What do you think this sort of quilted looking stuff is here?
Yeah, so I've noticed that on Japanese warships. I think it's they're somewhat similar to the job role that sandbags would do to absorb shell splinters and fragments from explosion.
You see it on some of these builds, they're just all over the place. They're normally white coloured. They're hanging off the sides of the...
Remember, if somebody knows what that is, please drop that into the comments section, because we'd love to know.
Because it seems like a very, very Japanese thing, doesn't it?
Mm.
This would be part of the conning tower or such, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That thing there. That looks like it's coming out of Star Trek. Okay, that's cool. Let's put that in the bag. Okay, so we've got one more bag to go for this box, and we'll move on to the next one. Now, we're yet to see any of the big guns yet, so looking forward to that. Now, this is unusual sprue here, because it's got this big empty space, which looks like they had planned on putting something in there, but changed their mind at some stage. So we've got big massive launchers. Okay, so you've got those there. See from the top camera. Right, so you've got little details there. The launchers of various sizes. There's a heap of these. A little tiny one there. And then you've got the superstructure. Do you still call that a superstructure to a launch?
Guess so, yeah.
Yep. And there's a big, massive cylindrical thing. Don't really know what that is.
I think that would elevate the smaller secondary turret, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. Yep. Alright. Well, there we go. So there's one box. Let's move that over here. We'll get it out of the way. I'll pop that next to me down here. Alright, what about next? We've got B, have we?
Yep.
Alright, B box. Wow, this is jam-packed, this one. Well, just as we were talking about guns, here we go. Let's have a look at these.
Ah, the main armaments, yeah.
The big babies. Does it sound about right? They've got 3.
Yeah, 3 turrets with three primary guns on them. 18.1 inch. The largest naval guns ever mounted on a ship. They could lob a shell nearly 45 kilometers.
These were the biggest ones. I didn't realize those were the biggest ones.
Yeah. There are larger guns in the world, but they weren't mounted on ships.
Wow. Okay. Let's have a quick look on the overhead.
Yeah.
There's the base of the big massive turret. Got the barrels there.
Yeah, immensely powerful guns.
So you can see how this has been slide molded because they've got all the holes down the end. Okay, so you had another piece of the mold that's gone through this way. There's a really nice detail on the top of the turret. Actually, I should say all the way around.
Yeah, even on the interior.
Oh, interior as well? Yeah, it's got some bracing, I guess. Yeah, impressive.
And then you've got the barrel shrouds.
Yes. Oh, they're all canvas, yeah?
Yeah, thick canvas.
And you got some more emplacements there as well. Okay, so we've got 3 sprue, like that. Okay, so we've got 3 main guns. Put that back in here again. Alright, so I don't know what we can find that's going to beat that. Oh, actually, we'll find some more guns. Okay, so we've got some more packs here. These are the smaller guns. So we'll just open up this pack here, because what we've got there, we've got 6 sprues of the same. Now, which ones are these?
We've got a quad mount and the dual heavy anti-aircraft guns.
So there you go there.
I think were 4.8 inch. I think.
4.8.
Yeah.
That's still pretty sizable, isn't it?
Yeah, for an anti-aircraft gun, yes.
You can see this one's got a little bit of tread plate detail on that. Okay. So we've got 5 sprues of that. Now, I think this is going to be pretty never-ending, yeah? Because, I mean, there's a lot of guns on this thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So what have we got here? So these are probably turret mounts, are they? Emplacements? It's going this way, yeah?
Yeah. I think that might be... Is that the top? Or is that the...
That looks like the top, yeah. It's got some tread plate detail in them.
Oh, yes.
That's probably more mounts there. And then that one... That's probably the base of that, yeah?
Yeah. These are probably the larger ones that would go closer to the superstructure. Around the funnel, where you'll see the funnel on the Yamato.
Oh, you're right. You can see them on that picture here.
Oh,
We're just looking at the picture on the base there, on the box. But yeah, I'll just have let's show you what they're like on the top camera. So a lot of those. Really deep. I guess one of them fairly well protected, didn't they?
Yes, you would be. You would definitely want to be fairly well protected, because the Yamato was a big target, and your opposition would be throwing everything that they had at you.
All right, so we've got bits of the
the superstructure. So yeah, that's where they would. That's where they'd all go.
Oh yeah, because you've got tread plate detail across the face here, and you'll be able to see that. I'll try and get the reflection right so you can see that from the top camera. There's lots of circles everywhere. Each circle is a gun. Bigger the circle, bigger the gun. Alright. Now we're going to get in some bigger sprue sheets here. These are in bubble wrap again, so they're going to be quite fragile. So there's 2 sprue in this as well. Okay, so I'll have a closer look at one of these. Lots of small bits. Okay, so we do have a few guns on here. You can see that there.
Yes, it's more of the anti-aircraft guns, and these are the secondaries.
Oh, so that's a secondary here.
Yeah, the secondary turrets.
And here would be the rangefinder that you were talking about before. On
yes,
either side
yes.
Of that. So you can see there, the overhead. Okay, you can see each side will take. I guess what do you call it? You call it a viewfinder, I guess, on each side for the range finding.
Yeah.
So little bits.
They were
so you got
visually, yeah.
So they're the secondary guns there, are they? Those barrels. And then you got the tertiaries. Some round things. Lots of small bits here, so you can understand why this has been bubble wrapped. And you've got a whole array of guns just across here. See all those in that corner there. Okay. Alright, so that's that lot there. Alright, we're not over yet. Still more coming here. We've got a nice flat bit coming. Look at this huge sheet here.
Yeah, it's the rear of the deck.
That's massive. Okay, so this is where the aircraft were all
launched
after,
from.
right?
Yeah. This is where the rear turret would be, and there was a crane that would lift them up, and there were catapults on either side. There obviously see where all these little indentations just there along the rear of the deck.
Oh, yeah.
That's where they would place the catapults.
So a sort of rail system there too, sort of drag the aircraft around. So the surface detail is pretty nice on this.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
Chunky. Okay. That's a big chunky bit. Alright, continuing on, we've got this in... This looks identical, doesn't it? Is that the same?
Yeah.
It's the same as the one we've seen already. Okay, so what have we got? We've got 3... That makes sense, doesn't it? We've got 3 sprue of that. 3 secondaries?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there was 2 secondaries, as far as I knew.
Oh, there's 4 sprue. Oh, maybe they're tertiary. Oh, there you go. Learning as we go.
One over there.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're just extras. You'll be using more of the inside smaller bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's all these anti-aircraft guns along there. So you've got a couple of spare turrets there. Alright, let's pop that back because we're already seeing this. But then we get to see a little bit of magic after this because we've got a whole bunch of sheets of Photo-etched fret.
Yeah.
Now,
To really bring the kit out and make it look give it that menacing alloy war machine look about it.
I mean, this will look really good with some figures on board as well.
Yeah,
It's 1 to 1
really
scale,
good, yeah.
you'll definitely be able to see the figures, individual sort of poses and things. So you see some ladders and such. So from the overhead, you'll be able to see all that. Okay, so on this particular sheet, there's 2 photo-etched frets. Okay, so on the back, you've got the same. That's identical. Is it? Hang on, no, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. It's the same. And then we've got a whole bunch of railings. Okay, so again, we've got identical stuff here. Well, this is a big ship. It's going to take a lot of railings, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Look at all that. Okay, so this is going to keep your well practice with photo-etch parts. Okay, then we've got another lot here. So more railings again, but some parts that I don't know, they look like go around masts or something. I don't know. There's some walkways. It's the same there. And we're still going. This one's got some trussing in it. Not too sure where the trusses go. Probably parts of smaller cranes or such, wouldn't they?
Mm.
Is it the same as the one we saw just before? It's a little bit different, huh?
Well, a little bit different, yeah.
Is it? What is it? They call that number D16. No, that's the same. So I must use a lot of that. This one's definitely different. That's a smaller fret. Over here, also we've got t-shirts.
If they too look like t-shirts, don't they? And these are like communications ports, yeah.
Yep, so they'll just be folded up. Like little towers. So back that's the same. Got another one here. This one's slightly different again, but it's still got a lot of railing. Again, there's another tower just here. Right there. There you go, same. Okay, so 2 sheets there. What about here? We've got this one here. That's got a really massive tower.
Yeah, that would probably be the primary communications tower.
So with photo-etch of this sort of size, you really want to get yourself a photo-etch bender.
Yes.
Trying to get, usually smaller ones you can just use flat pliers, but I mean, you won't get flat pliers that sort of length. To me, you do make a plier that's sort of long like that, which would probably work. Got these big massive sections here. I'm guessing they overhang the deck. Got some more railings and some ladders. And then over here you got some chain. That'll be for the anchors. Got shafts here. Okay, so these will be the prop shafts.
Yeah, propeller shafts, yeah.
Yep. Now, I didn't really mention before, but I mean, this is so big, you'll probably radio control this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be impressive, though. It would be impressive to have your own radio-controlled Yamato.
Yep. Just got to find yourself some tubes about the same as that. Shafts that fit in there, and you'll be able to radio control that up. There's heaps of room inside. Okay, so there's your 4 shafts. And then we've got one more photo-etch. And these are slightly different. Okay, so you got this one. You got this one. Okay, so this has got another tower on it. Oh, that's crane actually, wouldn't it? So it looks like crane
so
in.
it does look like the yeah,
for the
that's
aircraft.
where the looks like the crane, and that's where all the cables that have all the rollers.
That looks absolutely gigantic by itself.
Mm.
Okay, so we've got another barbecue grill there. Turn it around. There's some walkways and such. Okay, so there you go. There's the box done. Alright, let's pop that next to me. Let's move on to box C, isn't it?
Yeah,
box C.
Box C is next.
Alright, what have we got in here? Oh, we've got some chunky bits. Chunky bits? Well, let's go with small bits first. So we've got some more gun emplacements. 2 sprues. Identical. So what do you reckon this thing here is? Is that like a horn? Like a foghorn or something? Would it be that big?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be pretty massive if it was a foghorn. I mean, you hear it from miles away.
Yeah. You'd want a pretty big horn on such a big ship.
Well, if you didn't see it, you want to hear it coming, wouldn't you? Alright, so we've got 2 sprue like that. And then we've got
The front part of the deck.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so you've got the bow section. So you've got quite a bit of surface detail there. There's a tread plate detail. I was saying before that it looked a little bit big, the tread plate. But I guess if you want to, I'm sure there'll be third-party providers. I'll probably make another type of photo etch with some finer detail on it, which you can overlay onto there. But just as an impression, I mean, it's pretty good already. See how thin it is there. I wonder why they've got these markings here. Don't know what they do. It's interesting. Okay. What else we got in here? We've got bits of the funnel. Okay, so
yes, with all the exhaust from the engines would come out. Yeah.
What do they power these things with?
I don't know. They would.
It'd be oil, wouldn't it?
I was going to say something diesel based. I would have estimated.
Oh, I'm using a lot of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So this is what we've got here. We've got the surface detail that's on these funnels. It's remarkable that they've been able to get quite a lot of detail all the way towards the end of the mould, because usually this is where you lose your detail.
Yeah.
So even rivets, they've got rivets going all the way across. So there's more rivets on these. You don't really feel them, so they're raised rivets. Okay, so we've got funnel bits. The next bit I think is the first part of the build. Pretty sure you build all the launchers and lifeboats first. They're pretty massive. So there's 2 sprues of this. Would they have 2 massive launchers, or would they normally have 1? I don't even know where they go. Where do they mount all these things?
I don't know.
Would they be like under the hull, maybe?
Perhaps.
And they flick out.
Perhaps.
So as you can see from here, you've got lots of little details there for each one of these launchers. Okay, so multiple pieces. We've got that big massive launch here, which is probably the main launch, and then the superstructure to go with it, which is there. There we go. So I missed that. We've got some little bits and pieces. And then you've got the hulls here of these launchers. So what is it? There's like 1, 2, 3 different sizes. Yeah, like that. I like little boats. Little boats on a big boat. It's like little tadpoles, then.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Tadpoles, I like that. Yeah.
And then we got that. This is just a nameplate.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to bother taking that out of the packet. But yeah, it's just going to have the big Yamato decal on it. It's got little legs on the back so it can stand up. Flat face. Okay. Now we've got a protective little cover in here. And that's protecting some flying stuff. So again, in some bubble wrap. There we go. So I've got some molded antennas, I'd say.
Yeah, or communications gear by the looks of things.
So looking from the top view. See how fine this stuff is. It's all very well molded. If you're really worried about this stuff, I mean, if you're considering moving your model because you think you're moving house, you could probably rebuild some of this stuff out of brass wire. Wouldn't be too hard. But I think, I mean, it looks chunky enough that it'll survive most things. Just don't want to handle it too much, I guess. Alright, and then we've got some clear parts within here. And it seems to be going trend that aircraft are molded in clear.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Which ones are these? These are, what float planes are these? You know your planes better than me.
Like the, what is it, the KI 40 something. It'll probably say in the instructions. I think there were two different kinds of planes that are carried, actually.
Yes, so there's another pack of planes, I think.
Yeah, there was one that was slightly smaller.
Yeah. Bit hard to see from the overhead. Now, the reasoning behind the clear, from what I can gather, is, I guess on some more modern aircraft, the canopies can be left clear. So they look more, there's more depth to them. With these, I don't know if there's a real advantage in them being clear. But I mean, they do look sort of cool. Okay, and they're pretty big, I mean, 1/200 scale, I mean, these are big aircraft. So I'll put these back, and we'll look at the other aircraft which are in the other packet. I'm guessing, what do they use the aircraft for? Just recon work, right?
Mostly for reconnaissance and to give it warning for enemy submarines.
So they never really had any fighters or anything like that on board?
No,
bombers?
no. Oh, they did. They some of them carried weapons if there were small targets of opportunity that they could take out to prevent them from using a radio to warn your opposition that you were coming to get them.
Actually, I should have looked in the corner. It says IJN.
Ah.
So there you go. So you can see how well polished these are. Super smooth. You've got nice surface details. You've got all those panel lines. So they haven't skimped on any of the detail on these small aircraft. The fuselage, you've got the horizontal stabilizer already molded in. There's the vertical stabilizer on that bit on the end there. Okay, so you've got 4 of these. IJN, what is it? IJN Val, is it?
Yeah. I don't think that was a Val though.
No. I'm just guessing.
A later version.
Okay, there we go. So that is C. We're counting it down.
Nearly there.
Nearly there. So we're going deep. These are this big, massive flat bit.
Which area? Oh.
Yeah, pop that in. That'll do. So I'm guessing this is going to have some of the decks in it, eh?
Yes.
Alright. Did I miss a bit? Oh, there's more. Look at that. Chunky, chunky. Alright, let's see what this is all about. Now this looks like part of the stern, yeah?
Yes, I would say.
So would this be like sort of a hangar
space, yeah.
For aircraft?
Yeah.
Because I think the other deck goes across here, and that's where you had all the...
yeah, the crane
would
reach down there and lift it up and then place it on either side onto the catapults.
So you can see here how you've got some trig plate pattern again. Again, it looks a bit out of scale, but I think that's better than having nothing there at all. You've got all that trig plate across the sides here as well. You can see there, that's pretty massive on the front camera. Okay, so that's the back end. And then we got...
this
this
end? That end, yeah. Look at that.
Alright, so you get your 3 main guns emplacements there.
2 at the front.
Yep.
Single at the rear.
It's interesting how it's got that curve to it.
Hmm. I think that was so as they could see, the guns could go over the top of them.
Yep.
The one that was in front of it.
Yep. Wow. That is absolutely massive. And from the top there, you can see... Well, this is from the front end. So you can see the deck detail that's in there. If you really wanted to, you could get yourself some wooden deck laser etched. That's a lot of work though, putting it on something like this. You get your gun emplacements. Coming up to, that'll be, what do you call that, superstructure area for the front. Your big openings there for your funnel, and then also for the rear conning tower, and then you got your 3rd main gun. Okay, well, we're getting close, aren't we? So that is the main decking. So we get that back in its bag there. Impressive.
Very impressive.
Okay, might as well try and slip these back in here. Push. There we go. Alright, pop it over here for safety. Okay, what have we got left? We've got this little sucker left.
Yep, lucky last.
So that's the last little box. Okay, so that's E-box. What have we got in an E-box? Let's just empty it out here. Small and chunky. What about here?
Oh, they look like rangefinders.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the rangefinders there. So let's move this out of the way. Like so. Nice and neat. And then we've got these big chunky bits. Parts of the superstructure, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Going around a gun emplacement, maybe? It's got that curve to it. So you expect so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so there's that. That's slightly different here. A bit different. And then this thing. Also, it's got rangefinders on it as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so we've got some little chunky bits. Go in there. Go back there. Alright, so what else have we got? We've got... What are these things? Drums.
Yeah, it looks like more communications gear.
Little rooms. Got that little thing there. Okay, so I've got that. You all good there?
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got another one of these little things. Alright, so let's stick it in here. Alright, what else we got? Alright, chunky bits.
More pieces of the conning tower and the superstructure.
They're nicely moulded in one piece like this. You'd normally expect that to be multiples. How about that? What do you reckon? You reckon that fits on there?
Looks like it.
Yeah, it's probably like that, eh? I've got a few nubs here which need to be cut off. But it looks like it fits in this spot right there. Chunky. Alright. Now we only got a few things left and then we're going to get into the manual. Okay, so we've got another bag full of a whole heap of bits. What are these? These are all the same. What do you reckon these are? For guns? There's supports for guns? There's a lot of them.
Might be.
Probably the smaller anti-aircraft guns, eh?
Yeah. They look like they're the hinges that they would rest on.
So
be fixed in place with.
How many you got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Well, that's a lot. That sort of makes sense, doesn't it? So these are probably mounts for anti-aircraft, small ones. Put that back in there. And then we've got a whole bunch of these little things. They're the same. They're not the same, are they? Oh, these are turrets.
Yeah. Ah, more turrets. Yeah.
So that's some more little anti-aircraft turrets. Little tiny things. Well, that's them. Are these any different? Well, that's a pack of the same thing. Okay, so we've got 4 of them. And then we've got some of these. These haven't got turrets, do they?
No.
More of those drum looking things.
Yeah. They're parts of the superstructure.
And again here, the same sort of thing. There you go, that's all the plastic bits. Gee, wasn't that epic?
Yeah.
A lot of bits, wasn't it?
A lot of pieces to this thing.
Yep. Well, I reckon what we'll do now is, let's see if we can find a home for this. I might stick it under here, so we can have a closer look at the manual. Let's park that there. So, yep, that's all good. Alright, so let's have a look. There's other stuff. Okay, so we've got the big manual we looked at a bit earlier. Got a little painting guide. Let's have a closer look at the decals. Eh? So we've got the
Not
pack
too
of
many,
decals.
yeah.
Yep. Alright, so it's going to be pretty basic. You got some for the aircraft. A little bit of stenciling there as well. Okay, so you can see there's the HE and the Mitsubishi there. Okay, so mainly for the aircraft. You've got some white stenciling there as well. Okay, so these decals. Here's your paint and decal guide.
This will be cool. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got all the paints across the top there. All different brands, I'll suggest. So you got Mr. Hobby, you got Accretion, which actually you can't get in Australia, but you'll be able to get in Japan and also Europe. Vallejo Model Master, which is a bit of a rare one now. Tamiya, Humbrol, covers most of the popular ones.
Yeah, yeah, or the ones that are most readily available.
Yeah. Alright, let's have a look here. Let me zoom this out a bit. Actually, do this. Make sure we're in focus. Alright, so that's pretty sharp. Alright, so that gives you a good idea of what this ship is going to look like. And look at all this weaponry around there. You've got your 3 main guns. You can actually see here where the sort of hangar area is, just over here for the aircraft.
And this is where the catapults are,
for
the
launching.
very rear. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's cool. Big sucker.
Yeah. Well, its anti-aircraft weaponry seems to be predominantly focused around the centre.
Well, I guess that's where you would primarily attack, wouldn't you? I mean, that's where the control is. And you imagine magazines would be under here as well?
Yeah, underneath you'd want the bombs in particular, you'd want to break a hole through the deck and detonate inside.
Yep.
Which is what happened.
Eventually,
yeah.
Didn't you get hit by like 8 torpedoes or something?
Yeah, it took a colossal amount of damage and it sort of started to keel over, and then its entire magazine went boom.
Oh, went off, did it?
Yeah.
Because I think they found it. It's in 2 bits.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clean in half, yeah.
Alright, so there's your painting thing. We've got decals. Okay, let's have a look at the manual. Alright, so let's go through. Battleship number 1. Alright, so we've got a legend of all the parts. Just so you know what you're looking at, all your Photo-etch. Here we go, we start building all those boats. This looks a lot more here than we saw, doesn't it?
It does look like it more.
Probably we weren't paying that much attention before. But you got a lot of boats here, all the launchers. Build the aircraft. Okay, so you've got your IG E13A1-9.
Okay.
Yeah, which one's
now
that?
We know.
No idea.
Yeah.
Someone's got to tell us. Okay, so you got different versions here. Are we? Are there different versions? No.
Oh,
that's the part number.
Yeah.
And then we got the Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a bit of Photo-etch that goes on these too. So all the PE numbers are all Photo-etch. Groovy. Nice. Okay, and then we get into. You start off with the hull. obviously. Big hole starts everything. Make sure all the screws are not too tight and not too loose. They've got to be just right.
Yeah.
How do we know they're just right?
Well, I'll have to take their word for it on this one.
Because I think what you got to be careful about is metal parts expand and contract, right?
They do, yes.
So I guess if it's, you know, in the... I know if you're building in the middle of winter like we are now, you do them up really tight. When it gets into summer, they'll expand.
Yes,
and they might crack stuff. I don't know how you work that one out. But I guess just make sure they're not really overly tight. I think you'll be pretty safe. Because basically these are just to stop the sides from squeezing in. Alright, so we're going to put in our, what would you call that part of the stern? The hanger deck, I guess?
Yeah.
Hanger deck goes in, and then we've got all this. This would be part of like a rail system, right?
Yes, it would be.
So I guess they would have been pushing the aircraft along on these dollies.
Yeah.
So that's all photo-etch. We continue that along. We've got some of the sidewalls going in. And then we've got those cone looking bits. They've probably got gun emplacements going on top of there, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Alright, so there's a little bit of fine stuff. You get some photo-etched stairways. And then we've got the top of the... That's the top of the stern bit, isn't it?
Yeah, the top part.
Because that's where the hanger
deck,
bit is.
Yeah.
You got to make
center
sure
of the deck. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are all the decking parts. We've just got to make sure we put in all the holes for all the rigging. Just make sure you pop all the holes through, and then we make the decking to the hull. Oh, here we go. There's that big, massive. That's really armor plated, isn't it?
Yeah.
The rudder. That is just chunky.
It's a very vulnerable point. It's like the Achilles heel of a ship.
It's like a double rudder, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then we've got our props going in with the shafts. And then we've got all these bits, which are like, I guess you call that the truss work, the support work for the top of that deck.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll go back to the top. We've got these bits. I'm not so sure what these bits are. Almost look like fences, but I don't know.
I think they're part of the catapult system for the launching of aircraft.
Okay, because we've got more rail going in.
Mm.
And there's quite a few steps with that. So you've got rails on both sides, you've got it all in here as well. And then these are, I guess you call them turntables, like in a railway turntable system. Got all these supports here across the hull. Go all the way across. Got anchors, little tiny anchors on the back.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're doing the other side too. And we're already up to page 24.
Mm.
Still in the back. Okay, so you got the anchor to the other end.
All your other little bits and pieces, yeah?
Yeah, so there's all a lot of small bits, aren't there? Well, there you got the chrysanthemum, the Imperial symbol. Yep, that goes in. That's for the Emperor. That's always painted gold. What are these capstans? What do you call these things again? I don't know. I've got none of these sort of boating terms. Still in the rear end. Okay, so we're starting to work towards the center section now. What are these funky little boxes? Would they be like ammo boxes or something?
I'm not sure.
I never know. Oh, we're still going in the back, so there's still more of those boxes getting put around. We're back to the front end here. Lots of little bits and pieces. Again at the back. Okay, so we start getting the gun emplacements put in.
Yeah.
It's starting to look like a Yamato now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really starting to look the part now.
Yeah, so you've got big chunky bits, you know, guns poking out everywhere. Got quite a lot around the stern. Obviously you want to protect the hanger as well. There's those funky, I don't know, bale looking things we're looking at.
Yeah. Naval sandbags, I guess.
Yep. And then we've got some of the guns going in. We've got some of the turrets. Are they the turrets? Oh, look, these ones look sealed up. Don't know.
Don't know.
We need to get educated, don't we?
Yeah.
Alright, so we've got some reels of some kind going in. A lot of photo-etch is getting bent in this side. They look like drums, don't they? Alright, so we'll start working on the superstructure now. Okay, you got all the ladders going in. Oh, these are those funky things we were looking at before. We couldn't work out what they were.
Yeah.
What do you think goes on them? Where are they going?
Oh, we're about to find out.
Okay, so we've got all the emplacements all around the superstructure. So you see all those curved bits we're looking at.
Mm.
A lot of protection around them. It's just like a whole, it's like an island full of guns.
It is.
So we've got these, that's part of the, is that conning tower?
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, conning towers going together. Some more gun emplacements across the top there. Would they have been guns, you reckon? That's just cover? No.
I think they might have been.
They look
might
like,
have been
they
guns.
look like
They
it
look
to
like
me.
gun emplacements.
Again, whoever knows about the Yamato and the Musashi, let us know what it's all about. Okay, so this is a bridge section, right?
Yeah. Where that captain would be looking out from. Yeah.
Looks like a lot of armour across here. You have another gun emplacement on top, obviously. I'm sure that's where all the Allied, aircraft were aiming for. You want to hit the heart of the warship to put it out of action.
Yeah, the decision-making area. Yeah.
Yep. What are these big, long, pokey things?
I think they're just communications antennas. Yeah.
There's a lot of photo-etch. There's a lot of railing that's going all around there. And then we've got over here. Oh, we've got some more. They definitely look like gun turrets, don't they?
Yeah, they really do.
They're those little round biscuit-looking things before. Okay, and then we've got this other section which is the base of it. Okay, some more turrets here. Pretty complicated, isn't it? There's a lot of bits hanging off this.
Very,
a lot of photo
very
etch,
complicated.
a lot of railing and a lot of ladders and such. Okay, we've got the. This is probably a rangefinder, is it?
I'd say they are.
Pretty massive. Again, you've got a lot of railing, and that's right up the top end. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Communications array. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that's mounted up onto your superstructure. And you've got other bits going in. Alright, you've got your massive antennas. That's huge, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Alright, now we've got the funnel system. Funnel with all its multiple bits. And then that's going to culminate into the barbecue grill on the top. So you've got all the photo etch here. Wow, imagine putting all that together. It'll look awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, very fine work though.
So that's all slotted together. A lot of photo etch there. Got a lot more of this ducting and piping. And then you end up putting it all on here. And then we've got some guns. Searchlights as well. Searchlights or communication?
I'd say
they're pretty massive, aren't they? That'll be huge. Okay, then your funnel system going into the superstructure. Got some of the finishing touches going in, but there's still a lot more there, isn't it? So we haven't even built any of the guns yet. You see all these round sections, so that's where weaponry is going to be. Oh, that's some of that really fine stuff that was in the bubble wrap before. Look at that, it's starting to get really, really crowded now. It's starting to make some more of these turrets. Got some of the guns going in, so we've got barrels happening now. It's just full of stuff.
Yeah, it's really looking the part here.
Alright, we've got some side railings. And then you got your superstructure getting attached to the hull. Wow. There are those big chunky things that we saw before. Okay, so you've got those front and back. Something's going to be rotating on them.
Oh, the secondary guns.
Secondaries?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got the smaller anti-aircraft guns going all around the place now. We've got these sort of small turrets. Okay, and now you got some of the bigger guns getting put together. So these are the secondaries, they look like?
Yeah.
Yep. Quite a bit of photo etch here, you've got a bit of railing across them. There's a lot of work involved there. And then we get into the main.
Yeah, 18.1s.
Pretty serious, isn't it?
Yeah, they are pretty serious firepower on those things.
So all these guns are all individually hinged, so you can actually put them in different positions once you complete it. Again, a lot of railing, a lot of photo etch. Okay, so that's the 3 guns. They're all going in now with your secondaries. Okay, so now we're doing the railing across the side of the main hull. Okay, the main decking. That'll take you a bit of time. Obviously that's going all over the place. We've got the flagpole. Flagpole front and back. All the davits. Oh, so the boats are going to be hung off the sides.
Yeah.
And then you've got all this photo etch bending work.
That's going to be time consuming.
So you've got the arm for your crane. And then you've got your little tower there on top of the crane. Your catapults there, either side. Mate, that's 92 pages. And that's it.
Done and done.
Where do the boats go?
I don't know, didn't actually get to that part. So you make them up, it doesn't seem like there's any way to attach them.
Oh, they've got to go here somewhere, don't they? They've got to go around. No? You reckon?
They look like small cranes that would support them.
Do you reckon they're hidden away? So they're just there if you want to put them into a diorama, maybe?
Perhaps, yeah.
Because some other battleships, you see them hanging around the superstructure.
Yeah, they have them attached to the outside, yeah.
Oh, that's unusual. Oh, anyone knows, let us know. Because we're a bit stumped here. Because at this point, on page 92, step 117, that's finished. So I guess you have to do still a bit of research on this particular ship, because it doesn't really tell you where to put the aircraft either, like where they sit. But that is pretty impressive, isn't it?
That is very, very impressive. Very impressive kit.
That is.
Quite labour intensive, but impressive nonetheless.
Absolutely. Oh, what have we got here? Oh, I think we missed some bits.
Oh, okay.
So we've got the flags.
The decal.
Oh, okay. So this is the flags. So we've got a little bit of extra instruction there. So you can see that. And then there's probably some printed ones here. Yeah, some more decals inside this sheet here. So you got the flags in there as well. So I'm not going to open that up because I don't want to soil those. But yeah, it just shows you how to dip them in the water, how to bend them, and put them onto the flagpoles. So that's it. That is a Yamato. I was going to pick that up, but I've got all the bits next to it. So I'm not going to pick
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll show you that. There you go. How did you enjoy that?
That was really cool. That was really cool.
I don't know if one single person could build this. I think it needs to be a team.
Yeah, I'm tipping as well. You'd probably need help.
That's so impressive.
I couldn't do this on my own.
No. There you go. So that is a brand new trumpeter, 1:200 scale, Battleship Yamato. Just been released not long ago. And there has been a Yamato around for a long time, since the Nichimo 1:200 scale, which is pretty rare these days. And this will be a much better kit compared to that anyway, because that tooling is just so ancient. But there we go. Beautiful, beautiful kit. Really big project. Well, it's got to be a 1 year project at least.
At least,
doing it properly. But that's it. So if you enjoyed our review, please give us a like. And if you'd like to see some more about this, please think about subscribing. And then, of course, if you've got any info you can educate us, please give us some writing in the comments below.
Absolutely. We always love feedback.
So thanks for watching that. That was a big one.
That was a big one.
Alrighty. So we'll see you next time.
Take care, guys. Rock and roll.